Good evening and welcome into Tarble Pavilion, the site of tonight's matchup between the Swarthmore Garnet and the University of Mary Washington Eagles. Chris Markowitz here for the Garnet Sports Network, and it's a non-conference matchup tonight, the final non-conference game of the year for Swarthmore. Let's meet the starting lineups first for the visiting Eagles, who are ranked number 22 in the nation. Starting at guard, a 5'8 sophomore out of Fairfax Station, Virginia, number 10, Keegan Schwab. Starting at guard, a 5'7 junior from Springfield, Virginia, number 22, Molly Sharman. Starting at forward, a 5'10 sophomore out of Chesterfield, Virginia, number 23, Jordan Carpenter. Starting at guard, a 5'7 junior out of Centerville, Virginia, number 34, Ashley Martin. And starting at forward, a 5'11 senior out of Centerville, Virginia, number 50, Tori Martin. Head coach for the Eagles in her 20th season is Dina Appleberry, and she is assisted by Megan Green. The Eagles come in at 13-2 on the year, 0-1 in conference action. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Swarthmore Garnet. Starting at guard, a 5'8 junior from Greenwich, Connecticut, number 5, Kim Kokenmeister. Starting at guard, a 5'6 freshman from Potomac, Maryland, number 13, Alyssa Hayashi. Starting at guard, a 5'7 freshman from New York, number 15, Carolina Lopez. Starting at forward, a 6-foot sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona, number 21, Emily Smith. And starting at guard, a 6-foot junior from New Hope, Pennsylvania, number 24, Dana Bandurek. Head coach of the Garnet in her first season is Dawn Grant. She is assisted by Brian McCloskey and Heather Marindola. Swarthmore dressed in their home white. Mary Washington dressed in its road navy. The Garnet will travel left to right on your screen, the Eagles right to left. Officials for this evening's contest, Andy Rogers, Lori Ryan, and Teresa Conior. And we are underway as the Eagles win the tip and get off to a quick start. Basket's good for Ashley Martin, the junior guard, averaging 8.1 points per game, one of 4 players for Mary Washington averaging 8 or more points this year. So nobody averaging more than 11 per contest, but they have a balanced attack as Bandurek with the basket and the foul for the Garnet. So Dana Bandurek to the line with a chance for one more. Oh no, and check that. They're leaving the points off the board, so they get the foul. And so right now the scoreboard's saying 2-0 in favor of Mary Washington, and the officials are saying that the points should count. So a little bit of confusion there, but that makes sense. Never is there a situation where a foul on the floor leads to free throws if you're not in the bonus. As Bandurek off target on the free throw, but she is on quite the run right now. In her previous 5 games entering tonight, Dana Bandurek averaging 22 points, 14.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block and a half, and shooting 51% from the floor. Here come the Garnet after a steal. Hayashi into the lane, she kicks. Smith, no good from 15 feet. The Eagles are coming off just their second loss of the year. It was their first conference game of the season as they fell to Christopher Newport 68-61 back on Saturday. Foul called against Swarthmore here. And it's on number 13, Alyssa Hayashi, her first. As Hayashi, check that, that's Kokenmeister with the steal. Into Bandurek, and she gets blocked. Carpenter with the rejection will stay on this end. Jordan Carpenter, the 5'10 sophomore, who's averaging 9 points and 11 rebounds a game for the Eagles. Lopez corrals the loose ball on the inbound. Lopez out to Bandurek. The runner no good for a Kokenmeister, and the rebound is in the hands of Martin. Schwab up top to Martin. Good ball movement here by the Eagles. Layup good and a foul for Jordan Carpenter. So Carpenter with the basket, count it with the foul. Smith picks up the foul. That's her first, team's second. And Carpenter doesn't get the roll on the year, a 65% free throw shooter. Smith in the post, her hook shot no go. Corner triple, bang. Keegan Schwab, the sophomore out of Fairfax Station, Virginia, with the triple. She had 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals against Christopher Newport in the Eagles' last contest. Christopher Newport, by the way, ranked number 2 in the nation. And the Eagles had the lead late. They were up by 5 going into the fourth quarter, just couldn't hang on at home. As Hayashi was fouled, she'll go to the line. And Alyssa Hayashi coming off a tough shooting game against Johns Hopkins, where she went 3 for 18 from the floor. Off to a good start here, though, making her first free throw. Hayashi gets both, and it's a 3-point game with 7:48 to play in the first quarter. Entry pass to the post. And here's a whistle away from the ball. It's a 3-second call. Schwab was open in the corner, but the turnover takes away a quality look from distance from the Eagles. So Lopez brings it across the timeline. Wingfield out onto the floor now. She came on while Hayashi was shooting free throws. And her pass, or Lopez's pass, stolen by Carpenter. Schwab up top, wild pass, retrieved by Martin in front of midcourt. Tori Martin powers in, layup off target. Tightly contested by Bandurek. She races the other way. Wingfield over to Hayashi. Step back triple, left it short. Schwab Euros into the lane. Tough jumper, no good. But the putback for Carpenter. Jordan Carpenter with 4 points now to lead all scorers. And it's a 5-point advantage for the Eagles with 6.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Lopez off target on the J, and she dives into the Eagles bench. On the other end, Carpenter back outside. Carpenter with a lob broken up by Lopez. Pass intended for Sharman. Caitlin Becker checks into the game for Swarthmore along with T. Sally. 6:11 left to play in the first quarter. Becker, a freshman from Palmyra, Pennsylvania. Sally, a freshman out of Natick, Massachusetts. Corner jumper, pure. Molly Sharman with the long 2, and it's a 7-point advantage for Mary Washington. Runner blocked by Martin will stay here. She had that play read the entire way. Sally drops it off for Bandurek. Hayashi, no good off glass. The rebound to Sally. Her turnaround jumper, no good. A wild look. And a fast break chance the other direction. Carpenter off a lob. And that's good. 6 points now for Jordan Carpenter. And Swarthmore needs a timeout, down 13-4 with 5:26 to play in the first quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching Swarthmore women's basketball on the Garnet Sports Network. 5:26 left to play in the first quarter. Chris Markowitz here for the Garnet Sports Network, and Swarthmore trails number 22 nationally ranked Mary Washington 13-4. The Garnet struggling offensively here against a stout Eagles defense. And it's a turnover on the first possession out of the timeout. Martin with the steal. Schwab pump fakes on the tray. Good ball movement here. Long two from the corner. Off target by Sharman. Hayashi races the opposite direction. Bandurik off a spin. And she cans it off glass. Dana Bandurik with her second bucket of the day. Bandurik with the deflection will stay here as Kokenmeister re-enters for Swarthmore. Into the game for Mary Washington, number 13, Sophia Pavlik, a 6'1 freshman from Chantilly, Virginia. And number 14, Megan Baxter, a 5'3 freshman. Layup is good off the inbound. Ashley Martin cans it off glass. Lead back up to 9 for the Eagles. Bandurik hands off for Hayashi. Step back Jay, too strong. Sally with a hustle play to keep it alive for the Garnet. Hayashi, no good off the backboard. And the rebound corralled by Schwab. Four minutes left to play in the opening quarter. The Eagles with a 9-point advantage. Martin on the baseline. Schwab, 4-3, no. Hayashi collects the miss. Kokenmeister with the left, gets the kind bounce. Kim Kokenmeister with her first basket of the day. And it's a 7-point game, 3:29 left to go in the first quarter. Martin in the high post on the drive, blocked by Bandurik. Kokenmeister waits for her teammates to find her on the other end of the floor. Becker, and the foul! Caitlin Becker going to the line with a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. Becker on the year, a 79% free throw shooter, averaging 3.5 points per contest. And she has a chance to make this a 4-point game. So Swarthmore on a nice little run here. So far, Mary Washington has shot the ball well, 7 of 11 from the floor. That's just under 64% shooting from the floor. But that turnover is the third of the quarter for the Eagles. And turnovers have been an issue for them this year. They average a little over 18 per contest. They force a lot of turnovers, which has allowed them to overcome their giveaways. Bandurik rips through. Looking for a cutter, drops it off for Becker. 15 on the shot clock. Kokenmeister has her pass swatted away, stolen by Baxter, and then a foul in transition. And the officials tab Bandurik with it. That's her first and the team's third. .225 left to play in the first quarter. Up top, Baxter, pump fakes on the triple. Lopez with the steal. She's got Sally, but lost her dribble. Tries the J, and it rims out. Missed chance there to make it a single possession game. Baxter on the drive, tough runner, no go, and Lopez corrals the loose change. Becker, scoop shot, no good. And we'll head the other direction. Van Durek with the last touch. Aaron Cronin, the 6-foot senior from Summit, New Jersey, replaces Van Durek. A minute 38 left to play here in the opening quarter. Mary Washington with the ball ahead by 5. Schwab, nice move. Too strong on the J. Kokenmeister inside to Cronin, fouled on the entry, bumped from behind by Sophia Pavlik. First foul against Pavlik, 4th team foul. Jordana Sampson enters now for Swarthmore, the 5'7" freshman from Brooklyn. And Emily Shively into the game for Mary Washington. Pass to the back door, intercepted. Schwab comes away with it cleanly in the corner. Fast break chance for the Eagles. Shively outside. Good movement, open triple. No good. Quality look for Bree Harper. "17 seconds separate the shot and game clock as Sally banks it in with the left hand. T. Sally with a nifty finish at the hoop, and it's a 1-possession game. 4 seconds separate the shot and game clock, and now it's unplugged as Kokenmeister runs the break, throws up the layup, and it's off target. Shively collects the rebound. The Eagles can hold for the final shot of the quarter. Contact, and it's a held ball. The arrow favors Swarthmore, so the Garnet now with possession of the rock. 6.3 seconds left here in the first quarter, and the Garnet can take the final shot of the first. Kokenmeister at the buzzer, fouls. And they leave 0.4 seconds on the clock. The foul is on Emily Shively. That's her first, team's 5th, as Sharman re-enters for the Eagles. So Kokenmeister with a chance here to make this a 1-point game. She's a 69% free throw shooter on the season. Kokenmeister goes 2 for 2, and it's a 1-point game. The inbound takes us to the end of the first quarter. Swarthmore trails Mary Washington 15-14 after 10 minutes of play, but they end the first quarter on an 8-0 run. We'll take a break, and when we come back, second quarter action live from Tarble Pavilion right here on the Garnet Sports Network.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes.
1-point game
sports
as we
create lifelong
enter the
opportunity,
second
and that
quarter of
starts with
action.
education.
Chris Markowitz here
We've raised the
at
academic
Tarble
bar,
Pavilion.
so more are earning
Swarthmore
degrees,
trailed
creating healthier
15
campuses by
to
working with
6
the nation's
midway through the first quarter, but the Garnet ripped off an 8-0 run, and they are within a point of the number 22 nationally ranked Mary Washington Eagles. Eagles with the basketball to start the quarter. Three-pointer off target for Harper. Fight for the rebound, and Cronin went over the baseline, so we'll stay here. 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Eagles, and it will be Schwab to get it in. Schwab into Carpenter, too strong. A rare miss from close distance for Jordan Carpenter. Van Durek now bumps into some contact, and she is fouled. So the whistle is against Schwab. Van Durek was fishing for the foul there, and she got the call as she'll head back to the line. Mentioned earlier that Van Durek is on a stretch her last 5 games, averaging 22 points and 14 and a half rebounds. She has a double-double in each of her last 5 games, leading the conference in points per game. She's twice this month been named the Centennial Player of the Week. Allie Landau, the talented freshman for Haverford, beat her out this week, but Van Durek consistently one of the best, if not the best players in the Centennial this year. And we're back even at 15, by the way, after her made free throw. So it's a 9-0 run for the Garnet over the last 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Kokenmeister airballs the triple. Sharman, baseline pull-up, blocked by Van Durek, her second of the night. Schwab left open, can't make the Garnet pay. Van Durek in the post, lost her dribble. So the Garnet move it on the perimeter. Hayashi, step back J, yes. Alyssa Hayashi with a nice jumper off the pause, and it's the first lead of the day for Swarthmore. The Garnet on an 11-0 run as we have an inadvertent horn. So this is going to be a side out for the Eagles. Sub into the game now for Mary Washington. It's number 15, Elizabeth Dufresne, a 5'8 freshman from Falls Church, Virginia. The lob to Carpenter was a nice play, but she couldn't connect as Dufresne deflects Becker's pass out of play. We'll stay on this side of the floor as Colleen Anderson, the junior from York, Pennsylvania, replaces Becker with 7:59 to play in the first half. Hayashi guarded by Sharman. Now Van Durek backs in, pump fakes, up and under, gets her own miss, and finishes high off the window. Dana Van Durek with 7 points. The run is a 13-0 run now, and here's a steal by the Garnet. Cronin, money on the jumper. Aaron Cronin with the basket. It's a 15-0 run, and Mary Washington scoreless in the last 7 minutes and 15 seconds of play. Schwab, no good. Bad miss on the turnaround J. Kokenmeister to Cronin. Van Durek thought about the three, instead she swings. Anderson out to Cronin, nice move. The runner doesn't get the roll, she collects her own miss. Van Durek with another effort, still alive, and finally ripped in by Martin. The Garnet had about 3 or 4 looks there. Dufresne inside. That pass too high, and Carpenter can't save it cleanly, but it's turned over on the other end of the floor. Hayashi's pass too high for Kokenmeister. Sally and Smith re-enter for Swarthmore. Ashley Martin back into the game for the Eagles, along with Carissa Highlander, the junior from Bozeman, who checks in for the first time tonight. Highlander, now Dufresne. Zone defense look here from the Garnet as the entry pass batted out of play by Smith. We'll keep it here with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Sharman gets it into Martin. 5 to shoot. Martin on the drive, blocked by Bandurek. 3 rejections tonight for Dana Bandurek. Hayashi looking for Sally. Hayashi out to Sally, open triple, too strong. And Martin collects the floorboard. Corner triple, too strong. Dufresne can't connect, and it's been over 9 minutes now since the Eagles have scored. Sally stops, pops, and collects her own miss, tipped to her by Smith. Hayashi, bang! Alyssa Hayashi extends the lead to 8 for Swarthmore, and their lead 17-zip in the last 10 minutes of action. The Eagles really pressing right now, can't get anything to go. Martin out to the corner, and a player falls away from the ball. That's Highlander, bumped from behind by Emily Smith. So the foul is on Smith. That's her second, team's first of the quarter. Mary Washington started this game 7 of 11 from the floor, but the Eagles are now 7 for 23, so they have missed their last 12 shots. Just a tough shooting run the last 10 minutes of action. Martin, way off target. Good defense by Wingfield. Lopez up top, over to Wingfield. Hayashi, well guarded by Dufresne. The triple doesn't fall for Becker. The Eagles trying to get on the scoreboard. It's been over 10 minutes now, and they've missed their last 13 attempts from the floor. Here's a turnover, stolen away by Lopez. 3-on-2, Bandurek, what a feed, and Hayashi with the finish. Dana Bandurek with the wraparound pass, and it's a 10-point lead for Swarthmore. What a swing. They're on a 19-0 run with 3:55 to play here in the second quarter. We'll take a break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Swarthmore women's basketball at Tarble Pavilion live on the Garnet Sports Network. .354 and counting in the second quarter. Mary Washington with the ball down 25-15. Chris Markowitz here for the Garnet Sports Network. And the Eagles scoreless in the last 10.5 minutes of action, but they finally get back on the board. thanks to a layup from Elizabeth Dufresne. So it took close to 11 minutes, but the 19-0 run comes to an end. Swarthmore still ahead by 8. Sally out to Lopez. 10 on the shot clock. Sally, pull up J. Yes. T. Sally with the basket, and that is a big one to push the lead back to 10. Sally with 4 points today. Kick outside. Good movement. Dufresne, long triple, splash. Elizabeth Dufresne with the last 5 points for the Eagles. Becker hands off to Sally. Lopez lost the ball. It ends up in the hands of Wingfield. And we'll stay here. Bandurek back into the game, along with Kokenmeister. Cronin and Wingfield go to the bench. 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. Sally curls off a screen and drops in the tray. T. Sally with the shooting touch. He's got 7 points tonight and the lead back up to 10. Triple on the other end, no good for Dufresne. As the rebound ripped in by Thora Gibbs, fresh out onto the floor. Her layup no good. Kokenmeister runs the break. Becker over to Bandurek. Bandurek knifes in and gets fouled. Dana Bandurek with 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists so far in the game, and she's got a chance for a few more points at the free throw line. Foul is on Highlander, that's her first, and the second against the Eagles here in the quarter. Bandurek now 2 for 4 from the charity stripe. And what a game she's had. She's contributing in all facets, scoring, rebounding, dishing out assists, getting blocks, and playing solid defense on the interior. Martin fouled, a hard foul, and she'll have free throws coming up. And the foul is on Sally. That is his first and the second against Swarthmore. Martin on the year, a 73% free throw shooter. One for 2 trip to the line for Martin as Cronin re-enters for Swarthmore and replaces Becker. $1:36 to go here in the second quarter, and the Garnet with a 10-point lead. Bandurek able to prevent Carpenter from coming away with a steal. Sally, baseline pull-up jumper, splash. T. Sally with the basket, 9 points for him to lead all scorers. And the lead up to 12 for Swarthmore, largest of the contest. Dufresne left open, air ball. Swarthmore can do no wrong here in the second quarter. The Garnet playing as a unit inspired tonight. And they have outscored Mary Washington 19-6 here in the second quarter. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Sally over to Hayashi. Hayashi back to Sally. Fight for possession, it's a jump ball. And the arrow favors the Eagles. Hustle play by Ashley Martin. And check that, we're going to keep it here. It's Swarthmore basketball with 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Sally will get it in. Hayashi fouled. And not a good foul there for the Eagles, as there was only 2 seconds remaining on the shot clock. It was a wild attempt by Hayashi. Sharman guilty of the contact. That's her second, team's third. Hayashi tonight, 3 for 7 from the floor, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. So after a tough shooting night last night against Johns Hopkins, she's found her rhythm here against the Eagles. Megan Baxter returns with 34 seconds to play in the second quarter. Shot clock and game clock separated by 3 seconds. Baxter kicks outside. Martin fouled by Sally. Second foul against Sally. She gets replaced by Sampson with 16 seconds left to play in the half. The shot clock unplugged. Trouble on the inbounds. Baxter wasn't ready for that play. Martin, too strong on the pull-up jumper. The rebound stays here with the Eagles. 3 to shoot. Pull-up jumper at the buzzer, no good for Reiner. And we'll head to the half with Swarthmore ahead of Mary Washington, 35-21. The Garnet go on a 19-0 run at the 5-minute mark in the first quarter is when it started. And we're working to provide that run gets them a huge lead at the half. We'll take a break. When we come back, second half action coming up next, right here at Tarble Pavilion. Welcome back into Tarble Pavilion. Happy to have you with us here on the Garnet Sports Network as Swarthmore leads number 22 nationally ranked Mary Washington 35-21 as we get underway here in the second half. The Garnet trailed 15-4 in the opening quarter as the jumper out of the gate good for Martin. Swarthmore went on a 19-0 run from the midway point in the first quarter to the midway point of the second quarter. And the Garnet trying to pull off an upset here at home after losing on the road against Johns Hopkins. But it's a slow start to the second half as Hayashi is guilty of an offensive foul. Hayashi had a solid performance in the first half. She scored 10 points on 3 of 7 shooting from the floor, hauled in 3 rebounds, dished out 2 assists, and had a steal as well. In the high post, that's Martin, kicks back outside. Sharman good with the left hand, 4-0 run to start the second half for the Eagles, who have come out making some necessary adjustments. Van Durek from the high post finds Hayashi. T. Sally starts the third quarter on the bench for now. Sally had an explosive first half off the bench, scoring 9 points as Swarthmore with another empty trip offensively, and the Eagles with a chance to make this a single-digit game. Martin kicks, zone defense by Swarthmore. Skip pass to Schwab. Good movement here. It's an open triple off target for Martin. The rebound stays here. Offensive board was collected by Carpenter. She got it back outside to Tori Martin. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Triple team at the high post. Tori Martin able to hang on. 5 on the shot clock, and it's an offensive foul called against Mary Washington. Ashley Martin barreled into Lopez, who beat her to the spot. And we'll head the other direction. Into the game now for Swarthmore, number 22, Nora Wingfield. She replaces Erin Cronin. 2 minutes have already gone by here in the second half. Swarthmore yet to score here in the third quarter. Lopez, baseline drive, shut off, but a great find for Hayashi on the cut. And that's the first basket of the third quarter for the Garnet. Schwab back up top. Schwab for 3, no good. And the rebound goes to Martin. Ashley Martin has been a pest on the glass as Van Durek comes away with a steal. 3-on-1. Hayashi wide open. 14 points for Alyssa Hayashi to lead all scorers, and the lead at 14 once again for Swarthmore. Martin up top. Ashley Martin on the drive, fouled by Van Durek. And that is the third personal foul on Dana Van Durek. Check that, they flash it as her second. I had that wrong on my score sheet. As a sub comes in for the Eagles, it's number 14, Megan Baxter. 6:54 left to play here in the third. 2-3 zone defense from Swarthmore. And the entry pass from Martin stolen away by Van Durek. Lopez up to Van Durek. And the Garnet go to work on the other end. Lopez up top, high post. Van Durek, pull-up jumper, gets the kind bounce. Dana Van Durek in double figures now with 10 points. And the lead up to 16 for the Garnet, largest advantage tonight. Schwab on the baseline, and this will be a held ball. Oh no, the officials are going to get a foul here. And it's on number 15, Carolina Lopez. That is her first, and Swarthmore's third. T. Sally re-enters, along with Caitlin Becker. They replace Lopez and Kokenmeister. Schwab in the post, too strong. Sally rips in the miss. Hayashi gives it up. Becker, guarded by Martin. Good defense by Martin. Becker comes away with the loose ball. 8 on the shot clock. Baseline layup, good on a second effort. Wingfield was blocked but got her own miss and went right back up with it. Lead up to 18 for the Garnet. Martin inside, Carpenter +1. Jordan Carpenter picks up where she left off in the first half. 8 points now for Carpenter to go along with 6 rebounds. She has played well. 15 minutes of action tonight. And now a timeout taken by Swarthmore with 5:23 to play in the third quarter. We'll step away. You're watching Swarthmore women's basketball on the Garnet Sports Network. At the line for the Eagles, Jordan Carpenter, who has a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play. And she connects. 15-point game, Swarthmore with the lead. 5:23 left to play in the third. Chris Markowitz here for the Garnet Sports Network. And it's been an impressive performance through 2.5 quarters for Swarthmore. Ahead at home against the number 22 ranked Mary Washington Eagles. Hayashi, long two, foot was on the line, it bounces in. So Alyssa Hayashi, 6 for 10 from the floor after a 3 for 18 shooting night last night. A good recovery game for the freshman. She's got 16 points in this one. Aaron pass, and it trickles out of play. Turnover, Swarthmore has it with a chance to add to its lead. The Garnet ahead by 17. And remember, the Eagles jumped out in front. They led 15-4 in the first quarter, but Swarthmore ripped off a 19-0 run. And the Garnet haven't looked back since. Wingfield over to Sally. Bandurek. Now Hayashi, 10 on the shot clock. Bandurek trapped between two defenders, and it's a jump ball. Ashley Martin with good anticipation to get her hands around the basketball. The arrow favors Swarthmore, so it's an inbound with 4 seconds on the shot clock as Bree Harper replaces Keegan Schwab. Hayashi at the buzzer, can't hit the floater. Good look with the shot clock running down. She was just a bit off. Harper able to haul in the rebound for the Eagles. Less than 4 minutes to play in the third. And it's a near takeaway. Carpenter turns garbage into gold. 15-point game, and Carpenter in double figures now with 11 points. Bandurek kicks inside to Wingfield, but it's a bad pass stolen away by the Eagles. Harper got a hand in there. Check that. That was Martin in there defensively. Harper on the drive out to Martin. 4-3. Splash. Ashley Martin with a big triple to cut the Swarthmore lead down to 12. Martin with 8 points now, 3 of 5 shooting from the floor to go along with 3 rebounds. Wingfield can't connect on the layup, will stay here. Kokenmeister back in for the Garnet. She replaces Hayashi. Shively checks back in for the Eagles and takes the spot of Baxter. 2:56 left to play in the third. 20 seconds on the shot clock for Swarthmore. Wingfield has it poked away. Van Durek out to Kokenmeister. Kim Kokenmeister with the baseline 15-footer. 4 points in the game. Check that, 6 points now for Kokenmeister. 14-point lead for Swarthmore, but the reverse good on the other end. Ashley Martin with the basket. Martin in double figures now with 10 points for the Eagles. And the Eagles trying to keep this game around the 10-point mark. Van Durek in the post. Off a couple spins, throws up a wild hook, no good. Well defended the whole way by Carpenter. The Eagles with a chance to cut the lead to 10. 20 seconds on the shot clock, and now a foul is called on Sally. Hayashi and Cronin re-enter for Swarthmore. Sally and Van Durek go to the bench. Lopez late to come in for the Garnet as well, and she replaces Becker. Swarthmore over the limit, so it's free throws for Bree Harper. Harper on the year, a 73% free throw shooter. Harper has played 6 minutes tonight, no points, 1 rebound. Give her a point on the basket. 11-point game, Swarthmore with the lead, $1:53 left to play in the third. Wingfield over to Kokenmeister. 10 on the shot clock. Hayashi, 5 to shoot. Turnover. Steal to Carpenter. And the Eagles with a chance to make this a single-digit game. Skip pass. Martin for 3. Boom. Big time triple by Tori Martin. And it's an 8-point game. Mary Washington climbing back into it late here in the third quarter. It's a 6-0 run for the Eagles. Swarthmore scoreless in the last minute and 45 seconds. Near turnover, fight for the loose ball in the corner. The Garnet keep it. 4 on the shot clock. Kokenmeister blocked. The rejection by Shively. Eight seconds separate the shot and game clock. Harper to the corner. Shively hits the side of the backboard. That would have made it a 5-point game. Instead, the Garnet can hold for the final shot of the quarter, ahead by 8. 10 on the clock. Hayashi goes to work, kicks. Cronin doesn't get the roll. Carpenter, full court heave, well short, and that will take us to the fourth. Swarthmore ahead of Mary Washington, 47-39. We'll take a break, and when we come back, fourth quarter action coming up next right here on the Garnet Sports Network. Fourth quarter about to get underway at Tarble Pavilion. Chris Markowitz here for the Garnet Sports Network. Swarthmore working on an upset, but the Eagles of Mary Washington climbing back into this game. They're on a 6-0 run as Lopez comes away with a steal. Hayashi back out to Lopez, and she'll reset the offense into the half court. Kokenmeister gets the kind bounce. Kim Kokenmeister with the first basket of the fourth quarter. 8 points for her, and the lead back up to 10 for the Garnet. Martin gives for Schwab. Harper inside. Carpenter gets the kind bounce on the turnaround. Jordan Carpenter has been the go-to player on offense for the Eagles. 13 points for her on 6 of 8 shooting. She also has 8 rebounds and 3 steals. Hayashi over to Kokenmeister. Cronin blocked, but out of bounds goes Martin. Couldn't keep her foot in before she made the pass. Sub into the game for the Eagles, it's Ashley Martin. She enters along with Sophia Pavlek. Tori Martin and Keegan Schwab go to the bench with 8:46 left to play here in the fourth. Cronin, skip pass to the corner, broken up. Ashley Martin there with the deflection, and Martin has been all over the floor today. 10 points for her. She's got 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and she's made several hustle plays. Van Durek double teamed, well defended, ball is loose, and it goes out of bounds. Lopez the last to make contact. So Mary Washington with possession of the rock with 8:25 left to play in regulation, and the Eagles with a chance to make this a 2-possession game. Harper fouled on the runner. No, it's an offensive foul. Van Durek got there first, and Bree Harper whistled for the charge. First personal foul against Harper, and the first of the quarter called against the Eagles. T. Sally re-enters for Swarthmore and replaces Lopez. Sally with 9 points tonight. All 9 came in the first half. Kokenmeister across the stripe. Good hesitation, but too strong on the floater. Gets her own miss. It was deflected to her by Cronin. Van Durek on a spin, and it goes in. Dana Van Durek with 12 points now, and that basket makes it a 10-point game once again. Open triple on the other end, too strong for Harper. Hayashi up ahead to Kokenmeister. Kokenmeister pressured in the corner. Great defense and a steal for Ashley Martin. Martin swings over to Shively. Carpenter triple teamed in the post. She kicks outside to Martin, left it short. Carpenter collects the miss and lays it in for another putback. Jordan Carpenter has been a monster on the glass. 15 points and 9 rebounds tonight for the sophomore out of Chesterfield, Virginia. 7 minutes left to play in regulation. Sally backs in. Kogenmeister lost it on the drive. Sally picks up the loose ball. 8 on the shot clock. Van Durek barrels in, but misses the left-hand layup. And it's a fresh shot clock for Swarthmore. Kogenmeister drops it in, all net. Credit Erin Cronin, who hit the deck for the floorboard and shuffled it out to Kogenmeister. Kogenmeister in double figures with 10 points on 4 of 9 shooting. Open 3 on the other end, and Harper gets the bounce. Timeout away from the ball. And it's an official timeout. Subs in for both teams. Becker and Smith return for Swarthmore. Sharman back in along with Schwab and Pavlek for the Eagles. So it's a 7-point lead for Swarthmore, 6-13 and counting here in the fourth. Swarthmore has led since early in the second quarter. Sally puts on the brakes, and she traveled. The Eagles trying to climb back into this game. They trailed by as many as 18 points here at Tarble Pavilion, but it's a 7-point contest. And this is the closest Mary Washington has been to Swarthmore since early in the second quarter. Here's a block on the baseline. Martin rejected by Smith, so we'll keep it here. 12 seconds on the shot clock for the Eagles. And now Jordan Carpenter comes back onto the floor and replaces Pavlek. 5:45 and counting here in the fourth. Inbound to Carpenter, and she makes a great play to save it. Bandurek almost had it, but Carpenter ripped it away at the last moment. 3 on the shot clock, and a foul is called. That bails out Martin, who had nowhere to go on the drive, but she wisely absorbed the contact from Bandurek. Third foul on Bandurek. Back into the game is Bree Harper. She replaces Molly Sharman. Martin gets free on the spin and is fouled. Emily Smith guilty of the contact. Into the game for Swarthmore, Kim Kokenmeister. She replaces Smith. That's the third personal foul on Smith. Martin on the year, a 75.5% free throw shooter. Quiet night for Martin. 6 points, 4 rebounds. But she does have 3 blocks. She's been a key figure defensively for the Eagles. And now the officials just checking at the scorer's table to make sure they have the foul count correct. Martin goes 1 for 2 from the stripe. It's a 6-point game. 2-possession lead for Swarthmore. Bandurek kicks to Kokenmeister. The Eagles wanted a travel call, didn't get it. Bandurek on a spin, and what a finish. Dana Bandurek with a beautiful post move. And that's a huge basket for the Garnet to push the lead back up to 8. Foul on the entry pass. And it's on Bandurek. That's her 4th. So Dawn Grant calls Bandurek back over the bench. puts in Aaron Cronin with 5:05 left to play here in the fourth, and the potential player of the year in the Centennial Conference on the bench right now, as the Garnet are holding on to an 8-point lead against number 22 ranked Mary Washington. Martin goes to work in the post. Great move, and she banks it in, 4-2. Tori Martin coming alive in the fourth quarter. 6-point lead for Swarthmore. Cronin against Martin, shimmy shakes, can't finish. She went to the dream shake, but left it short on the baby hook shot. Harper inside, her pass deflected to the perimeter. Schwab in the corner, over to Martin on the drive, and it's a 4-point game. Timeout on the floor. Swarthmore needs to talk it over with 4 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in regulation. The Eagles climbing back into it. Don't go anywhere. We've got a good one here at Tarble Pavilion. You're watching Swarthmore women's basketball on the Garnet Sports Network. Four minutes and 14 seconds left to play in regulation. Swarthmore clinging on to a 4-point lead over number 22 nationally ranked Mary Washington here at Tarble Pavilion. Chris Markowitz here on the Garnet Sports Network. Dana Bandurek on the bench right now with 4 personal fouls. Swarthmore led by as many as 18 in this game, but the Garnet have been outscored here in the second half, 30-20. The Garnet led by 14 points at the half, had a 18-point lead in the third quarter, but the Eagles with the momentum here, and this is a huge possession for the Garnet. They need points. Turnaround jumper no good for Wingfield. She has her own miss and gets fouled. The foul is on the floor. Wingfield was briefly standing at the line, and they get Shively with it. That's her second. 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Garnet. Hayashi missed the layup. Tough look. She was surrounded by 3 defenders. And the Eagles with a chance to make this a 1-possession game. Martin out to Harper. Carpenter blocked from behind, stripped away from Sally. Huge defensive play, but Swarthmore still needs a basket. The Garnet scoreless in the last 2 minutes of action. Bandurek remains on the bench with 3:17 to play in the fourth. So we'll see how soon Dawn Grant goes to her star player. Lopez on the drive, barrels into a defender, and it's an offensive foul. Great anticipation by Harper to get there first. The Garnet plead their case, but the call remains a block. And with 3:04 left to play in the fourth, Dawn Grant will reinsert Dana Bandurek with 4 fouls. She'll replace Lopez, who goes to the bench after picking up her second foul. So Bandurek out there for offensive purposes, but she has to be careful defensively. The Garnet in a 2-3 zone. Schwab, 4-3. Short, and Sally has the rebound. Sally with a huge pull-up jumper. T. Sally stretches the lead back to 6. That's the biggest basket of the game for the Garnet. Martin, high post, over to Ashley Martin. Harper in the corner, splash. Bree Harper with another big basket. And it's a one-possession game. Van Durek, hands off for Sally, around a screen. Hayashi, bang! Alyssa Hayashi with a huge answer from distance. She doesn't take credit, she's cash only, but Harper, oh man, unconscious. Her third triple of the night, and we go back and forth here at Tarble Pavilion. Bree Harper with a number of big-time shots down the stretch for the Eagles. Van Durek traveled. And Mary Washington with a chance to tie the game on a three-point basket. They don't have to go for 3. There's a minute 35 left to play as we have a timeout taken by the Garnet. And we'll take a break. Don't go anywhere. This one coming down to the wire. You're watching Swarthmore Women's Basketball on the Garnet Sports Network. Minute 35 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Swarthmore clinging to a three-point lead over number 22 nationally ranked Mary Washington. The Eagles trying to avoid back-to-back losses. They lost back on Saturday against Christopher Newport, the number 2 ranked team in the nation. The Eagles with the basketball, and Harper has been the hot hand, but she turns it over looking for Martin. Huge giveaway, and Swarthmore with a chance to put some distance between themselves and the Eagles. Hayashi with a loose handle. Hands off for Van Durek, hounded on the play. And that's an easy foul call for the officials. Ashley Martin whistled for the infraction, her second, team's third. 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Garnet with a minute and 11 seconds to play in the fourth. Van Durek pivots on the wing, finds Hayashi. She's been the go-to player tonight. Her 13-footer, too strong, and will go the other direction. Hayashi's the player you want taking shots down the stretch, as she has a game-high 19 points, and a timeout is taken by the Eagles. Dina Appleberry wants to talk it over with her squad with 57 seconds remaining in the fourth. We'll keep it here. Chris Markowitz on the call for the Garnet Sports Network. And what a game this has been. It's been a game of runs. Mary Washington first in the first quarter took a 15-4 lead, but then Swarthmore went on a 19-0 run to take command of the game in the second quarter. They led by 14 points at the half, as many as 18 points in the third quarter. But the Eagles have climbed all the way back to make this a one-possession affair. And coming out of a timeout, they have a chance to tie it with a three-point basket. For Swarthmore, the go-to player offensively has been Alyssa Hayashi. They've gotten contributions from Kim Kokenmeister, who has 10 points. T. Sally has 11. Dana Van Durek with 14. Mary Washington has relied heavily on number 32, Bree Harper, down the stretch. She's hit a number of key three-pointers. Here she is on the drive. Her layup, good. Bree Harper continues to collect clutch baskets for the Eagles. And the officials are going to put a second back onto the clock here. So it's a 1-point lead for the Garnet. 16 seconds separate the shot and game clock. Huge possession for Swarthmore. They need a basket here. A 2-point shot at least means at the worst they're going to overtime. Van Durk in the post, left hand fouled. With the game on the line, the Garnet go to the leading scorer in the Centennial Conference, and she draws a foul against Jordan Carpenter. Second against Carpenter, fourth against the Eagles in the half, and Van Durk staring down 2 huge free throws. Long on the first, Van Durk 3 for 6 from the line, and that keeps the door open for the Eagles. One for 2 trip for Van Durk, and a timeout taken by Mary Washington with 24.5 seconds to play in the fourth. We'll keep it here. Chris Markowitz at Tarble Pavilion, and this game is going to come down to the buzzer. The Eagles with the basketball out of a timeout, and they can either go for 2 for the tie or go for a 3 to try to win it at the buzzer. I would be surprised if they went for 3 at the buzzer to try to win it. There's plenty of time. They could go early, attack on the drive. If the 3 opens up on a driving kick, then you take it, but I expect Mary Washington to go for 2 here, but who knows? I'm just a broadcaster, and I'll tell you what, number 32, Bree Harper, has had her shot working from distance. 3 for 6 from outside, and the Garnet have to look out for her. On the drive, it's a foul, and Martin will go to the line with a chance to tie the game. The foul is on Wingfield, her second. And Martin staring down the 2 biggest free throws of the night. A miss on the first, and now it gets interesting. Do you miss this one intentionally? There's 20 seconds left, so a lot of time here. Martin makes the second, and a timeout taken by Swarthmore with 19.8 seconds to play. We'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Swarthmore Women's Basketball live on the Garnet Sports Network. Out of a Swarthmore timeout, we've got 20 seconds left to play in regulation. The Garnet with a narrow 1-point lead. And we are at the free throw stage of this game. The inbound goes to Van Durk, and she is fouled. About 3 seconds come off the clock, and Dana Van Durk will shoot 2 with the Garnet in the bonus. Schwab guilty of the foul. It's her second. So Van Durk back at the line, and she gets a kind bounce on the first. This is a huge free throw, a chance to make it a 3-point game. And she does. Van Durk with 17 points, another timeout on the floor taken by the Eagles with 17 seconds left to play. We'll keep it here. Chris Markowitz on the call for the Garnet Sports Network. And with 17 seconds left to play here, still a lot of time. the Eagles don't necessarily have to go for 3. If they get a quick basket and foul right away, they can keep their options open, but they have to move quickly here. Dana Bandurek just hit 2 big free throws, 17 points for her, 7 rebounds, so it looks like her double-double streak will come to an end. But I'm sure she'd trade that streak for a win here tonight at home against a ranked opponent. Swarthmore came into tonight on a 2-game losing skid, trying to right the ship here against the Eagles. Martin, quick layup, no go, and the rebound to Wingfield. 5.2 seconds come off the clock, and Nora Wingfield will walk the length of the floor with a chance to make this a 2-possession game. Foul is on Martin, that's her 3rd, and Wingfield at the line, a 58% free throw shooter. No good on the first. So the pressure is on here. This to make it a 2-possession game. And Wingfield knocks it down. Big free throw for number 22, Nora Wingfield, the freshman from Cromwell, New York. And it's a 4-point lead for Swarthmore with 11.8 seconds to play here in regulation. We'll keep it here once again. Chris Markowitz on the call for the Garnet Sports Network. And the strategy right now, first defensively for Swarthmore, got to play straight up, no fouls, particularly on 3-point attempts. The last thing you want is to give a 4-point play opportunity to the Eagles. Meanwhile, Mary Washington just called a timeout. That is their final timeout of the game. So they got to go quickly here. They've got to score. Doesn't have to be a 3, but it's got to be the quickest shot available. If they make, they have to line up right away to try and get a steal, and it's one of those situations where you either get the steal immediately or you foul. So there is time left on the clock. It's just difficult. The advantage of the timeout, obviously, is it advances it into the front court. So here we go. 11.8 seconds left in regulation. Martin on a handoff. 4-3. Around the rim and out. Hayashi fouled, and she'll walk to the other end of the floor with a chance to ice it for the Garnet. It was a good play design by the Eagles. Ashley Martin inbounded the ball to Tori Martin. Tori Martin handed it off to her. She was open for 3. Got a good look. It hit both sides of the rim, but spun out. And Hayashi knocks down the biggest free throw of the night. 20 points for the freshman. Bandurek with the rebounds. And that's going to do it. No foul, and the Garnet hold on to knock off number 22 ranked Mary Washington, 65-60 at home. A signature victory in 2022 for Swarthmore as their 2-game losing streak comes to a close, and they hold off the mighty Eagles here at home. Hayashi with 20 points on 7 for 14 shooting. She overcomes a tough shooting stretch last night against Johns Hopkins. Dana Bandurek's double-double streak ends, but she finishes with 17 points and 8 rebounds. That's going to do it for us here tonight at Tarble Pavilion. A huge win for Dawn Grant and the Garnet. For our crew here at the Garnet Sports Network, I'm Chris Markowitz saying so long and good night from Tarble Pavilion.